You are listening to How to Get Over Your Ex, episode number 298, How to Go from Abandoned to Thriving, a 2-year update. Welcome to How to Get Over Your Ex, a podcast on getting over your ex without it just taking time. I'm your host, breakup coach Dorothy. Let's turn your pain into power and your heartbreak into happy. Hello, hello, beautiful brave hearts. I am so excited. We have an amazing, beautiful, wonderful guest, Alea, here with us today. I am really excited because I feel like I'm just going to learn so much about your life today. Alea did the program, the Get Over Your Ex program, like years ago. What was it, 2 years ago?
I believe two, yeah.
That blows my mind.
Mhm.
2 years ago. And then she reached out to me via email recently and was like, I know you asked me to be on the podcast like when I left, and I wasn't in a space where I wanted to yet. But I think now is the time. And so I'm just really excited to catch up with you, hear about life, hear about what's been going on, and to share your journey with other brave hearts who are listening in. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to see what unfolds in this conversation.
Yes. All right. So why don't you start with just telling people a little bit about yourself? I'd love to know, I'd love for you to share where you are, anything you feel comfortable with, what you do,
Mhm.
what are your hobbies, anything that you feel comfortable sharing.
So currently calling in from Mexico. I'm here for 10 days. I'm solo traveling. I'm originally from California. When I joined the program, I was in Hawaii at the time in esthetician school. So I've been around different little places. I like to move a lot, and that's exciting for me. Keeps me my ADHD excited. But yeah, I'm currently in commercial real estate, but when I joined, I was in school for esthetician and then had opened a business for that. And honestly, I've been through so many different like experiences, and I think we'll get into like the program, but the program taught me to take chances or be confident and just saying yes to different things. And I think it's really inspired me to try new things and not be scared of like, it not fully panning out if it doesn't work out.
Ugh, I love you so much. Alea is like such a grounded soul. I feel like even when I look at you and I hear you, I'm just like, you're so grounded through every experience I've witnessed you move through. Um, Yeah, that was a great intro. Commercial real estate girl, I did not see that coming. I did
Yeah,
not see that coming.
neither did I, but it allows me to travel, so I find the gratitude in every day. It is very
Yes.
stressful though.
And you're in Mexico. You told me, I think you said you're doing like a surf competition.
No, I did one back home in California. This is the year of doing things that make me uncomfortable, that I'm scared of, but to do it with confidence. So I've been surfing my whole life, but never thought to put myself in like the limelight of competing. I was a coach for it, and that was amazing. And I did actually better than I expected, which was awesome. So yeah.
Yeah, so cool. So cool. So would you say that you're like living in California, visiting Mexico, or are you thinking about moving to Mexico? Tell me, where are you going to be residing?
That's a great question. I think I'm currently in California. I won't say that California has my heart. So I've been exploring different places and trying to see what communities called to me and kind of align with what I'm looking for in my life. I'm currently still single and happy about it. So I have the freedom to kind of figure out where I want to lay my roots.
Oh, I love it. I love you so much. You're so cool. I just think Alea is so cool.
You're so sweet.
Okay, so tell me, why don't we start in the kind of like the beginnings? Tell me
Yeah.
what happened. Like what happened in your breakup? How long had you been dating this person? What happened? Again, only the things that you feel comfortable sharing, but tell me what led you to the Get Over Your Ex program.
So I, at the time, so I'm 27 now. I had met him at, I think I was 23, and he was separated from his wife for 3 years, not divorced. I didn't really understand what that meant. In my brain, I thought the word separate meant like, oh, they're divorced, everything's good. He has space to welcome me as a girlfriend in his life. And then 6 months in, I realized that is not the truth. They were still going to go through like a nasty divorce, unfortunately. And I was still at the point already fully in love with him. So made every red flag a green flag and just had a lot of exceptions for him and his behavior. So much so that I chose to go to school in Hawaii to be closer to him. And then, long story short, once I got to Hawaii, we decided it just wasn't working out. And so I found myself in a new state with no friends, no community, all alone again. And I think I joined the weekend of Valentine's Day, and it was like 2 weeks before my 25th birthday. Um, and it was such a godsend to find you. I think I just like Googled like X something, I don't know, therapy, who knows what. And you came up, and I like binged your podcast, and then I DM'd you. And the funniest part was I don't have Instagram, but I had like a little dog account for my dog just so my brother can send me memes. And her name's Marla. And then you sent me a voice note back like, "Hi, Marla." Da, 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 da. I was like, oh, that's my dog's name. But it was cute. And yeah, I joined. I needed it. I was alone in a new state, going to school. I made a lot of sacrifices to move there, put myself in debt to go to school out of state from where I was in California for the relationship to like find it not working out. And
Yeah.
that's how I got into the program, I think. I might be
Yeah.
missing more details, but yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, I mean, so gut wrenching. I feel like putting yourself out there, compromising yourself to make things work, and then realizing the situation isn't what you had thought it was, you know? Tell me a little bit about what did you f feel like, or what did you perceive as like your biggest difficulties when you were trying to navigate the breakup?
Mm, I, mm, I think I'm really forgiving, and there was a lot of times where I didn't know how to stand up for myself and be like, no, that's not aligned with my values. I also didn't know what I wanted in a relationship. So, like, I didn't realize that, yeah, I want to be put as a priority. It was always like the priority was his divorce and his ex-wife and his kids and this. And like, I was never a priority. And I never thought like it was okay, permission to be a priority in
Mm.
someone's life. And therefore, I wasn't even a priority of my own. So, I think that was my difficulty is like putting my needs first for myself.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, how did that change? How did, like, what happened in the program or even outside the program or whenever? How did that change and transform in the last two-ish years?
Oh my God, night and day. Like you taught us about want matches. And like at first, I didn't even know what I wanted, and that
Mhm.
goes back to like putting myself first. So like even dare to think, what do I want versus just accepting whoever will like me. And like not only in romantic relationships, but in life and career and everything. And so I really got clear like what I was looking for. And that was scary at first too, to even define it. And I lost my train of thought.
Yeah. Yeah, totally fine. We were
But
talking about how has it transformed? So how has been putting yourself first transformed over the last 2 years?
how did it's funny, it's hard to explain it or like there's
Well,
been
and 2 years is a long time. So I mean, you kind of talked a little bit about figuring out what you wanted, and how dare you do that, right? I mean, like we didn't even realize that was an option probably in the beginning. And then when you were like, "Oh, wait, what do I want?" How difficult was it for you to define that as you were
I think the biggest testimony of the program was that like he had recently reached out and there was like no want match there. Like what I was looking for and what he was looking for and willing to give was so not the same, like different
Mm,
frequencies. And there was no shame, regret, sadness. It was like indifference of like we just want different things and that's okay. And I think that is the biggest win of it all that like I have that going forward in my life that I can look at things in a very matter of fact of like, what do I want? What does this other person want? Does it align?
mm,
And not take it so personal. I was always like, I didn't grow up with a stable mom. So I think when it came to romantic relationships, I was always trying to force it just for them to stay. Like, I wish my mom would stay. And
mm.
I get to now view life in this like, does it serve me? Is this what I'm looking for? If not, it's not about me. Just we have differences, and that's okay.
Big exhale. It's not about me. Did everyone listening hear that? It's not about me. I think that is like one of the biggest lessons we can learn in life and practice
Mhm.
is anytime something from the outside world takes place, we're so quick to bring it on and make it about us. And one of the biggest examples that I give a lot is, especially in like cheating, infidelity, betrayal. I just always think of like Rihanna and Beyonce. And I sit there and I'm like, I can look at Rihanna and Beyonce so clearly
Mhm.
and recognize that the people who cheated on them, like, that is not a Beyonce or Rihanna problem. Like, they are queens, they are amazing. I wouldn't like, I just don't understand who cheats on Beyonce or Rihanna. It like blows my mind.
Mhm.
So we have to remember the same is for us. Like, it's not about me. It's, it doesn't have to be about me, and I don't have to make this overcomplicated or make it about my worth or about my enoughness or my lovability or was I pretty enough? Was I smart enough? Was I kind enough? Like, it's like, no, you are you and you want a certain set of things, and your ex is that them and they want a certain set of things, and maybe they don't match, and that doesn't have to be a problem.
Yeah, it's honestly simplified my life a lot to have that. Like that's what the model teaches you too, is like to simplify things and like not to try to put your emotions in a box, but it just really helps you decipher between like logic, emotions, facts, all the things. And like I am so grateful for it. Truthfully, I don't use it enough nowadays. I should. I really should.
Sometimes
I
we
mean,
step away and then we come back and we're like,
yeah.
oh, snap, it's just my thoughts.
Yeah. I think intuitively I reached out because I was like, I need to get back into my models and doing my thought work. And I think asking to connect back with you was like a nudge for me to like, yes, pick those tools back up because they're
Yeah. Tell me what, that was a question I had too. I don't think I asked this yet. What led you to reaching out to me?
Hmm. I think again it was like the year of doing uncomfortable things. And I remember when I had graduated from the program, we had just talked about it, had booked it, and then I just like was so scared. I was like, no, I can't do it. I don't like putting myself out there. I can't. And I just like got cold feet and then canceled on you. And I respected it at the time, but now again, I'm in this year of just like confidently trying things that scare me and like embracing like I might stutter, I might forget my train of thought, but just trying to think that like I have something to share, but also like you did such a service for me that in any way if I can give back, like I really want to as well.
Oh, you're so
And
sweet.
kind of missed you. I'm not on social media anymore, so I was like, I don't know what's going on with you. I know you're a mom, and I was like secretly wanting to like catch up on that too.
Girl, yes, we'll catch up on all the things. If we don't
Yeah.
catch up while we're recording here, I'll go ahead and catch up on all the things afterwards. But I love that. I'm so proud of you for doing things, even that when it feels uncomfortable, doing things that scare you, especially when you practice it like that, like on a consistent basis for like a whole year. Think about all the things that you're going to accomplish within this year
Mhm.
that maybe you wouldn't have done. I mean, that's amazing.
Well, that's the beauty of so one of the things you taught us was the 50-50.
Mm,
And
yeah.
like, in every decision there's 50% good, 50% bad. That's just life. And it's allowed me to take risk and like accept both sides.
Mhm.
Like it's 50% good to be single, 50% hard to be single, 50% easy to be in a relationship, 50% hard to be in a relationship. Like it's in everything, there's two sides to the coin. And again, embracing that neutrality like has again, I don't know, made me more courageous to try new things.
Yes, because then we recognize and we realize that the feeling isn't really a problem. Whereas I think growing up, when I had a negative emotion, I was like, something's wrong.
Mm.
Now, when I have a negative emotion, my go-to default thought pattern is like, nothing has gone wrong.
The Dorothy wisdom.
Mm.
That's a good one.
Right? And here's something else that I've been teaching people inside of the Bigger and Better Life Mastermind recently that I think you might find good is that and I actually don't know your stance on this. Do you believe that we have like a soul or an intuition or inner being?
I do, yeah.
Okay. So I teach a lot about inner voicing and my inner alien and my inner being, right? And I always talk about how that's separate from your mind. Like the mind's voice can be harsh, urgent, black and white, all or nothing. Whereas your inner voice, your soul, like that's been with you for multiple lifetimes. It's all knowing. There's such wise wisdom there. There's it's very all encompassing. There's no right or wrong or good or bad. There's no urgency or timeline. And so we practice a lot inside of Bigger and Better Life Mastermind, accessing inner voice versus the mind. And how do we make decisions with the inner voice and then do the mind thought work about decisions? And so
Mm,
we've been talking about that. And we've also been exploring your authentic desires and like, why do we desire such big lives and exceptional lives? And we don't want to be I talk about like this medium, how do I say it? Like the regular standard bell curve. We want to
mhm,
be the exception. We want to be the outlier. And I think a lot of the brave hearts listening in and just the brave hearts that I think that surround me, I feel like we all kind of want that. And I like love that for us. So we started talking about desires and I believe that the only reason we have the desires that we do in life is because we were meant for them. Like we were destined for them. They are a part of our soul's journey on this human lifetime. And so, what I realize or what I've been playing with a lot lately is when I am experiencing a negative emotion or one of those emotions on the 50 downside or the bottom of the wave, we might say,
mhm,
I like to think that I feel like that's my soul communicating with my body at all times. Like my soul is communicating with my body all the time. And when I'm not in alignment or I'm not in my truth or I'm believing things that don't fit the avatar that I have here on earth, that's
mhm,
when I am experiencing a lot of those negative emotions.
mhm,
So, like, for example, a surf competition would scare the shit out of me, but I do think it's so fucking cool. And I can just like, I see you, you looking hot, you're
mhm.
tan, you're blonde. I just like see the whole thing for you. And I'm like, God, that'd be so cool to do. I wouldn't know if it's necessarily an authentic desire, but let's say it's an authentic desire for me to do. I would
Mhm,
feel a lot of feelings about it, but only because I was thinking thoughts that don't align with my true self, which would be
mhm.
you're going to fail, you're going to embarrass yourself. All of those thoughts don't align with my true authentic soul's being. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. And that's why I've been trying to do things that typically don't align with like when I'm in fear, I wouldn't do them because I'm
Hmm.
in that below 50, like you said, but trying to change my thought to do them with like the version I want to be.
Yeah. So exciting.
What you were talking about reminds me of Abraham Hicks and like the contrast, like every contrast. Yes.
Love Abraham Hicks. So good. Yeah.
I think about that a lot. Like when I'm in like a negative feeling, I know it's like, oh, this is just the contrast that's showing me the other side of what I want.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
I will have to say, like just hearing your voice, like that was the thing. I was always called. I just loved being in the program and love hearing you talk. You have such a motherly energy. And I think one of my biggest things I was so grateful for is I moved to Hawaii and didn't have community. And I remember one of your things you asked me, like, what are your goals or what are you desiring? And I remember saying like community. And then like, lo and behold, I had this like remote online community through the program that really uplifted me. And I didn't appreciate it as much as I now like look back and reflect like, wow, that was a game changer in my life. It was just to have
right.
it. Yeah, it was.
I feel like that is like an um, I don't want to use the word undervalued thing, but like underestimated maybe is the right word, where like people talk about community, but when you're in a community that is totally vibing and
Mhm.
working towards bigger and better life, it's just a completely different level. Everyone is like vibing on a different frequency. So even if you're having a bad day, there's for some reason, you're lifted up when you start interacting with the other people in the group.
Totally. I mean, also just having like a shared common ground. I think like even if I had girlfriends back home when I was in Hawaii or in general, like how many times do they want to hear about my breakup and my hard feelings, and my confusions around it? But like this group was like all in, ready to help me out, ready to do thought work with me, and responding to my comments online and like working through it on Zoom with you. So like I was permission to go through that in a raw way that wasn't judged.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so good. I love that. Alea, I would love to know, what do you like? I want you to think about the fact that there are Bravehearts who are going through really difficult heartbreak.
Mhm.
Heartbreak of high school lovers, marriages ending after 25 years,
Mhm.
maybe even similar situations like you, where they were dating someone who wasn't fully divorced yet, and they've got a bunch of feelings about that and about themselves in that. What would do you have any like advice? Do you want to give three pieces of advice that you found has worked really well for you while you were in the program, or even in the past 2 years when you were out of the program?
Mhm.
Um, what would you share with them? Even if it's not three pieces, just something like whatever feels right for you.
If you're in the program, I would say do your models, do your
Yeah.
thought work. Just keep at them.
Yeah.
It is the best homework. And I think, yeah, I just remember so many days where like I was just stuck on emotions, but then when I'd put them on the thought and like, the model, it brought me so much clarity and calmness. So like that would be one advice, really use your tools.
Mhm.
Um, The second one's kind of funny because I have this thing where like I'm so open-minded to learning new things, but sometimes I get stubborn and closed-minded. And so like it was hard for me to listen and do what you're or like apply what you were telling me or advising me. So like
Yeah.
just surrender the stubbornness of I know what's best for me and just be open to new
Mm,
because
I love
perhaps
that.
the thoughts that you had is what brought you to the feelings you are currently feeling, which is the heartbreak. And just perhaps Dorothy knows something that might change that for you. And I think it took me like a good month to surrender to the
Mm.
program. Like, okay, I don't know best, but I'm willing to learn.
Yeah. So good.
Um, and third, oof. You know, I something that was huge for me was making peace with the this other side of the coin, like
Mhm.
being single. I was so scared of being single, or like actually mostly what it is I really want kids and I want to be a mom, but like I never thought I could be a mom single. And learning to embrace and accept that like, oh, I can do motherhood alone and that's okay. Um, and that's again embracing the other side of the 50-50 really changed my mindset and made me more courageous and more open and less willing to what is it like downgrade what I want
Mm.
and be okay with if this doesn't match, that's fine. I'm not going to try to morph it because I really want to be a mom and I really need a partner to do that. So like, maybe being curious about accepting the other side of singlehood and it being
Uh,
okay.
so good hearing that. That was delicious. Literally delicious. I feel like I could talk about motherhood forever. As you were, oh, have you, I don't know if you've watched this, but inside of the alumni aftercare program, there's a workshop called the attachment cycle.
No, but I am going to.
Yeah, I think you would really, really like it. I talk a lot about that, but I talk a lot about making peace with the things you feel attached to. Motherhood is one of them that a lot of individuals or a lot of women tend to feel attached to as being a mom and, the whole quote unquote timeline and the biological clock. And that is the work, the attachment cycle, which is very interesting with timing because I think, were in the program as I was going through my miscarriage stuff
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
like shortly after or something. And that's when I started moving through the attachment cycle, but I didn't know what it was called. I hadn't formed it yet, but I was going through that process. And a part of it is after you feel safe enough to even look at it and start getting curious about the attachment, you ask yourself two really important questions. And they're both based on creating peace and acceptance around not having something that you desperately deeply want and not from a place where you don't get it or you don't keep going after it, but the moment you release attachment to things that you deeply desire, I believe that they come into your reality very quickly and very like a lot easier.
Mhm.
um
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I love
I
that.
I'm excited for some homework to go look at that workshop. It reminded me how much like your workshops are just amazing and I listened to them on repeat during my breakup time. I just would go into the program and put any video on and it was just like my background noise while I was living alone.
Don't you love that? And there's so much in there now, especially it's 5 years old. And so
Wow.
there's 5 years worth of coaching calls and workshops and guest speakers. It like blows my mind.
Yeah. I forgot about that. I forgot I have access as an alumni.
Yes, as an alumni, you have the alumni aftercare program. It has an alumni community. It's got all kinds of stuff. Once a brave heart, always a brave heart. Boo.
Mm, amen to that.
Okay. Is there anything else that you feel like would be super helpful to share to listeners who might be going through heartbreak right now?
Um,
What do you wish that you heard when you were in it? When you were binging the podcast, what do you wish you would have heard?
let me think about that. I It's funny because like when I look back at that time, I remember the feelings and I'm so not attached to that person anymore. That's so hard to remember it all so deeply. I'm like, wow, it's been so long and I'm very indifferent to that chapter because I
Yeah,
in a good way healed it. But I remember it being really painful.
right?
Um, so I guess I can just say like the biggest present you can give yourself is this program if you did it. And if if it's financial issues, like even the podcast has so much resources. Um, I don't condone this. I personally put it on a credit card and I was like, I will figure it out. I just need to take care of myself right now. And lo and behold, I did. And I'm grateful for that. But yeah, really soaking up any resource that you have
Yeah.
is the option.
Isn't it
And
crazy how indifferent you feel from it now?
I'm like, it is hard. Yeah, I'm
It's
like amazed.
mind blowing.
Yeah. Um, he had recently reached out because last time I talked to him, I was like, please don't reach out unless you're divorced. And he had recently reached out and there was just like a no, I'm good. And it was such a great feeling to just like, no, like years ago, I would have seen your name on my phone and just crumbled and just been like future tripping about marriage, kids, all the things. But like now I'm just like, I'll let you be you and let's see.
So good. So
Mhm.
good. I'm
Yeah.
so proud of you. I wish I could like capture this and send this to past you and show you like in all the pain that you're experiencing. I think that's the biggest thing that I want to tell everyone listening today based off of our conversation is that in all the pain that you might be experiencing right now, like I promise, Alea promises, like it's gonna be okay. You will feel indifferent, unbothered, but not from like a hateful way, but from like a peaceful state. And your life is going to be bigger and better and so beautiful and amazing in so many ways. Um, we're only going up from here.
Yeah, I will say, like, prior to the program, like, relationships is always that point of like emotional contention, or it's just like it was always so like heightened emotions when I started dating someone or the breakup or whatever. And now, like, 2 years after, I've had a couple of partners since, but it's, I wouldn't say indifferent where like I'm not excited. I am very excited, but I think it's a very just like slow burn when I meet people and like just open to the experience versus forcing like this has to be it because otherwise I don't know how to deal with my hard emotions.
Mm,
And that is another big gift that like wow, I look at relationships now in a very calm way and welcoming a new person and we're just going to be curious and see.
amazing. I love that so much because it just goes to show you the gift that keeps on giving. I feel that way about just coaching in general, as I feel like every time I invest some sort of time, money, energy, all of that into coaching in my brain, I'm like, it always continues to give. Like, it's not just about the time that you're doing that work, it just seems to continuously give.
Yeah. Yes. Amen to that.
Amazing. Well, I love you so much. Thank you for coming on to the podcast. I appreciate you. The listeners appreciate you. And we're just so grateful.
I love you dearly and so grateful for the work you do for everyone. Thank
Amazing. I love you.
you.
If you're loving the How to Get Over Your Ex podcast and you want to learn how to get over your ex in 3 months or less to build a life better than the one you thought you had with your ex, I would like to personally invite you to my next group course where we take everything you've learned here on the podcast and apply it to your life. Come check it out at www.lifecoachdorothy.com.